Wow, happy Tuesday. Hopefully, everyone's having a glorious day. It's about 90 degrees outside. Here in central Texas of Austin, Texas, and there's a lot of news to go on. But I'm going to focus on this one for today, which is Giant Food, which is a grocery store chain, which is being forced to shut down over crime. Now, this is from FoxNews.com. Giant grocery store chain fighting to keep stores open as theft violence has increased exponentially, reported. Whole Foods in San Francisco closed after being open barely a year due to safety concerns. This is what weak on crime gets you. This is what when DAs let people go for low offenses or even dangerous offenses. This is what happens when you lower or raise the threshold in order for it to be a crime for theft to $1,000. You're going to see these things going to happen. One grocery store chain is fighting to keep stores open despite rampant shoplifting and an uptick of violence that forces many retailers to leave major cities across the country. Giant Food, which operates 165 supermarkets in Washington, D.C., Maryland, Virginia, and Delaware, has taken measures to combat theft and keeps stores safe, according to a report in the Washington Post. The steps include limiting store entrances, hiring security guards, restricting the number of items at the self-checkout stands, putting fewer high-value items on shelves, and securing razor blades in containers that make a noise if open. The company president, Ira Kress, says he's seen theft rises at least tenfold in the last 5 years and violent crime increasing exponentially. He hopes that these measures will help keep stores open, even if they're inconvenient shoppers. Even if they inconvenience shoppers, the issue is if it's inconvenient to shoppers, then shoppers will go elsewhere. Alternative is worse for customers, he told the outlet. Last thing I want to do is close stores, but got to be able to run them safely and profitably, which means you gotta make money. If they're not making money, they're not going to be in business. Several large retailers like Walgreens, Nordstrom, and Whole Foods have closed stores in some cities due to increase of shoplifting and safety concerns. Fear of violent reactions from shoplifters has also changed some of the company's policies over the years. We used to chase shoplifters, Kress said, and you get the product back and nobody would ever fight you. Didn't worry about someone pulling a knife or a gun on me. 40 years ago, he told the Post, a former worker had recently closed at Whole Foods in downtown San Francisco. Also said that in the report they had been taking measures to combat shoplifting, like moving high-end merchandise to the back of the store. However, the well-known grocery chain has temporarily closed its flagship store due to safety concerns. Records show that more than 500 emergency phone calls were made by workers at the store who would routinely threaten with violence by vagrants. Consumer and retailer industry expert says business will continue to leave the cities as it's become difficult for them to maintain a profit, with organized retail crime and theft at an all-time high. We're seeing the highest level of organized retail crime and theft ever. Langsman Mana, senior director in Alvarez and Marshall Consumer and Retail Group, said in a Post report. The former Whole Food employee said that the store faced theft daily and employees were forbidden from confronting or attempting shoplifters. One retailer had similar policy in place due to fears of an employee might be harmed or killed in an altercation with a shoplifter. An alleged shoplifter, identified as 26-year-old homeless man, is wrestled to the ground by Walgreens security guard Salvatore Lapico. In Atlanta, two Lululemon employees were fired by the company after they filmed shoplifters brazenly stealing merchandise. Say what? In Atlanta, two Lumen employees were fired by the company after they filmed shoplifters brazenly stealing merchandise. That is effed up. And we're going to definitely take a look at that. Keeping stores open has become even harder during the era of inflation. Lakesman said, as retailers have to find ways to stay afloat with increasing rent, operation, and wages. Giant president says it's embarrassing when politicians attack retailers for shutting stores down to these challenges. How dare you close your Walmart? How dare you close your Whole Foods? What was the other one? Let's see here. I know it said this up here somewhere. Well, how dare you, Walgreens? How dare you, Nordstrom and Whole Foods for closing down? How dare you want a profit? How dare you want your clientele to be safe? How dare you want your clientele to pay for products? I mean, I find that laughable when it says, Giant President says it's embarrassing when politicians attack retailers for shutting down due to these challenges. I mean, at the end of the day, they're in the business to make money. The way they make money is to offer groceries or product to you that is a service that they are providing for you at a profit. It's laughable for any of our politicians, and I have offered to meet and talk with any of them to be ignored what's going on in their community, their jurisdiction, and with their constituents, Crass said in a report. And for politicians to blame businesses for leaving is embarrassing, and I agree with Crass. For politicians to say, how dare you want a profit? How can you stay in business if you're running a business at a loss? Where you can't even prosecute shoplifters because the DA won't press charges. Let's see here. The face of retailing will change in these areas. The days of customers walking through aisles, putting items in a cart, then moving to a checkout station are probably gone. The days of pre-order for customers' pickup at the station will become the norm. Merchandise will be under full control of the stores until the customers pay and is ready to leave the store. By Xmark. You won't be able to shop for merchandise. You won't be able to look at what else is there. You're going to have a laundry list, and you're going to have to present that list to the person. And the area where I'm going to see an issue here is when it comes to produce. A lot of people like to check the produce before they buy it, and if that's no longer an option, the grocery store can give out garbage when they shouldn't be, and you have no choice but to accept it. I can see that as an issue to this. Let's see, you're probably correct. Grocery stores and other retailer stores will be distribution centers, and the days of brick and mortar stores will be gone, except restaurants for now. Of course, this is going to be a attack on blue cities and states. This is a blue city state problem almost exclusively. So even if they do, as you predict, it'll just be a matter of time before the thugs find other places to rob, like homes. If crime is not dealt with, it won't matter what they do because criminals can go unpunished and will stop at nothing to get what they want, what they need. They'll find other ways to rob stores, and you can take that to the bank. Criminals need to be stopped with whatever force is needed to stop them. Until then, no amount of shopping innovations will matter. Don't take my AR-15, please. So anyways, we're going to go look at this story right here. Let's see, it's only 30 seconds. So they're filming people robbing them blind, and they get in trouble. Like telling them to get out, and they're just going. So, so they just robbed the store. No repercussions, no police, no nothing. I'm sure that makes a lot of people happy. But the thing is, they can't do this because this is the business. They're in the business to make money. Let's go ahead and close that. The Lumen employees in Georgia are speaking out after they said they were fired for calling the police for would-be robbers. How dare you call the police? Jennifer Ferguson, a former assistant manager of the Metro Atlanta area Luma store, and one of her employees, Rachel Rogers, were fired by a retail chain after a shocking video captured the duo yelling and chasing masked robbers out of their store before calling the police, which they claim got them fired, according to the report from the New York Post. A viral video shows the masked thieves bursting into the store earlier this month, grabbing as many items as possible before being confronted by Ferguson. No, 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 you cannot march back out. Ferguson can be heard telling the thieves have reportedly looted the location multiple times in previous months, and at the point of the video seems to pause a considerable and consider the employee's demand before re-entering the store and grabbing more items. Seriously, get out, Ferguson can be heard saying to the robbers. Chill, B, shut your ass up, when the thieves responded. The employees then recorded the thieves as they exit to the store, enter a waiting car to escape, with Ferguson and Rogers making no effort to physically prevent them from stealing items or leaving the store. I mean, I don't expect them to stop them, to be honest. You never know what's going to happen. From there, the employees called the Gintwood Police Department and reported the robbery, which they said is what got them fired from the store, though Ferguson said that the duo were not given specific reasons for their termination. Management cited that the company had a no-tolerance policy. What tolerance is that? What were we supposed to... We're not supposed to get in the way. You're kind of clear the path for whatever they're going to do, Ferguson said, of the store policy. And then after it's over, you can scan a QR code, and that's that. We've been told not to put in any notes because they might scare other people who are not supposed to. We're not supposed to call the police. We're not really supposed to talk about it. The duo said that they were questioned by the regional manager regarding their decision to call the police and were later fired for their actions. That is messed up. Meanwhile, the police were able to track down the robbers and charge them with felony robbery. Reached for comments by Fox Business spokesperson for Lumen confirmed that the employee handbook outlined a zero tolerance policy for chasing or physically engaging with the suspect's robbery. But they kind of didn't chase them down. They just filmed them. The safety and security of our employee and guests is always Lumen's top priority, and we have policies and protocols in place to uphold a safe environment. The spokesperson said, we take thefts and vandalism very seriously, and our focus right now is supporting our educators as well as continuing collaboration with our local partners and law enforcement. So why did you fire the lady? We take theft and vandalism very seriously, and our focus right now is supporting our educators. That makes no sense. How is education part of firing these two people? That makes no sense to me. If their policy is not to interfere with thieves, then the company should be required to absorb all costs associated with the theft and not pass those costs on to the consumers, and should credit the value of the merchandise as lost as the sales to the employee, as they get a full commission of bonus for whatever they get to the store as some sales volume. Why bother having price tags on items or having cash registers or having employees stock the shelves or even having rent a showroom? Just deliver the service box, or just have a delivery service drop box of goods on the sidewalk. I've been to that store and lived near there. They, in fact, willingly allow known criminals in their store and never report them to the police, meaning that it's a crime magnet, and it's a very dangerous there for both employees and customers. Criminals have a clear incentive to shop there, and I'm never going there again. I wonder how many customers last time we went there, the store, were luring criminals Just bizarre. Welcome to the criminals at this location. Free on crime on the house. Free crime on the house. No wonder why Amazon and other online marketing outlets are doing well. And how dare you? How dare you refresh when I was doing that? I mean, I could read the comments, but I'm not going to. But yes, this is an issue when the stores don't want to prosecute, when you have DAs don't want to prosecute, have a zero tolerance for pursuing shoplifters. That includes calling the police and filming them. How dare you? Just let them go. Our tops, our top priorities is to educators, even though you're a retail store. Right now, our focus is supporting our educators. How does firing these two people support educators? How do letting these two idiots rob you support your educators? That makes no sense. Anyways, that is my video for today. Gone long enough. 60 minutes is way too long. With that being said, leave a comment down below on what your thoughts are. But most importantly, have yourself a wonderful day, morning, or evening.